In Algebra 1, Section 4.5, we're dealing with direct variations. Basically, it's just when when the x and y are related directly using a multiplication, a constant multiplication. So when you're cooking and you have one value that directly affects another. For example, every cup of rice that I cook serves 5 people. So the direct variation is for every y, which is my 1 cup of rice, I multiply it by five servings. Okay, so however many y's I use, I will multiply it by 5, giving me this direct variation. The direct variation doesn't have, it just has a y and then a constant and an x. This is the simplicity of the direct variation. So what we're looking for here is the constant. How is the y and the x related? For example, we're going to determine if this is a direct variation. So in the past, you're looking for patterns. How much does x go up or down, and how much x increases or decreases, and by what pattern. With direct variation, we're just seeing how it's related to each other. For example, 2, how do we get 2 to, what do we multiply 2 to get 6? Well, we multiply by 3. How about 4 to 12? By 3. 6 to 18 is by 3. So because every time I multiply the x by 3, and it gives me the y, this is in fact a direct variation. Let's look at b. B, I go 1 to get to times 1 times negative 2 is I have to multiply that by negative 2. And just so you don't think it's x. 3 times 0, I have to multiply that by 0. And then 7 times 4, they're not really multiples of each other. So because this is not going, because these are already different, this is not a direct variation. Okay? But this is because it goes multiplied by 3 each time. Okay? And I'm not saying adding by a certain amount or divide it. It could be dividing because then you can have a fraction. But adding and subtracting, that doesn't work as a direct variation. It has to be multiplied or divided by a constant number because we're looking for that constant. For example, if this went up, if this went down half every time, then this would be a 0.5x. Okay? So the value of y directly varies with x. So we're dealing with a direct variation. Y equals 3 and x equals 9, and they want you to find y when x equals 21. So I'm going to use this first part to find the equation, okay? Because in order for me to have a direct variation, I'm looking for what letter? The constant, right? So if I'm looking for the constant, I'm going to use the first part to find what the constant is. Because it tells me that 3 is directly varied by some number with x, which is 9, okay? So if I solve for k, so I'm going to divide this by 9, divide this by 9. I end up with 3 over 9 equals k, which is the same thing as 1/3 equals k. So my equation is y equals 1/3 k. That's my equation. But it's not asking me for the equation. What it's asking me for is to now use the equation. Sorry, this is not k. To now use the equation to find y when x equals 21. So now I'm going to use this equation and I'm going to plug in 21 for x. 3 times 21 gives me 21 over 3, which is 7. Okay? 3. Okay? So in this one, again, I used the first part to find my equation. Once I found that constant, then I can use it to find 7. Then I can use it, plug in 21 to find my y, which is 7. So basically, if I'm using this equation for direct variation, that's telling me that when x is 21, it directly varies to 7. Okay? So go ahead and try out page 263, number 6 and 7, 263, number 6 and 7. I will see you in class.